York Knicks. I'm back, rocking in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts, just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, it's the New York Knicks podcast, episode 532, part of Dash Radio. I am Jay, and with me is Mark and Stats Guy. How you doing, Stats Guy?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Been listening to you guys since 2012. So it's fun I'm ready to get made fun of by Mark and see if I can give you some fun stats today.
Mark would never
Stats
do
guy.
such a
This
thing.
is Stats Guy number 7.
Sounds about right.
7? Yes.
Sure, why not? Or
Let me
3.
let me look it up.
Stats Guy. What number Stats Guy are you? Notice now. Come on.
Number 18.
Nice. Okay. 18, which was how many wins most people expected from the Knicks, who have now dominated the regular season.
Yeah, it's a good time. Good time to be a Knicks fan.
Good time to. So if this was a regular full season, they played 10 more games, probably 47, 48 wins.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the 54-win season, and so much more exciting, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Randall greater than Carmelo Anthony.
Thank you. It's been my narrative all season. So since we last did the show, the Knicks have clinched the number 4 seed, home court against the Hawks next week. Also, we were talking about how funny it would be if the Lakers and Celtics had to play the play-in game, and they both do. So I am now officially a fan of the play-in tournament.
It's crazy in the sense of, like, you could talk about all the things that would have been satisfactory to us for the season. If the Knicks had finished like 5 games under 500, we all would have said, quite a season. We got to like 36 wins or 35 wins. Or like, I guess like 38 wins. We would have been very happy.
Mm-hmm.
If you had told us that all that would happen this season would be RJ Barrett shot 40% from 3, nothing else happened, we would have said, I'm very happy. This was a great season. This season is beyond any. Can you think of a team you have rooted for in your entire life that has exceeded expectations to this level?
No, I don't think it would even be possible.
Stats Guy, has it ever happened since the Roman Empire?
Let's see. I see here in 1948 we have the Minneapolis Lakers.
Okay, so first
Okay,
time in 72 years.
Are you just stating that they existed back then, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
People were excited about basketball. It's a whole different year. It's a whole different time.
It is. I mean, I have to say, I'm guessing we predicted. I don't know. Not looking back. Stats Guy, how many wins did you think the Knicks would have when the season started?
82.
Okay, cool. So I think we thought the Knicks would win like 25 games. They won 41 games.
Yeah.
And had an absurd season. And the second half team was so much better than the first half team. Jay.
It's an all-star game. It's that all-star break team. That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, like a couple weeks ago, the Knicks were like 2 games under 500. We were all like, well, the team's going to maybe collapse, and what are you going to do? But like, this is a great season. Let's pat ourselves on the back, and like, we're going in the right direction. And now we're the goddamn 4th seed. So we're going to F up the goddamn Hawks. Pretty good time.
So Nomad has a question. Taj Gibson is a dinosaur. Even if he plays 15 to 20 minutes in a playoff game, are you at all worried? And does anyone else on the roster scare you a bit?
Well, I can't even. I'm shocked anyone would ask about someone before asking about Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, so I guess...
Do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about the Hawks series right now, or do you want to talk about the Knicks? Talk a little bit about what happened here first.
Here is in the last few games?
Yeah, well, I guess like the end of the season. Do you want to bask in the glory of the season for a few more minutes before we talk about the Hawks?
I think, yeah, I guess it makes sense to, cover the end of the season. And then, let's bask a little bit, and then we'll move on to the Hawks series.
Yeah, I mean, they finished the season against they beat the Celtics, they beat the Hornets. So the Celtics game in particular was one where the Knicks had to win to get the 4 seed, which was awesome. If they lost, they got the 6 seed. But they played a C squad. The Celtics rested basically the top 7 players. And the Knicks basically came down to the goddamn wire. How do you feel about that, Jack?
It was a little worrisome. I mean, the Celtics sat pretty much their whole team, and it was still, they almost blew a lead. And I mean, I don't want to put too much into one game, but they should have beat the Celtics by 20.
Stats guy, how much should the Knicks have beaten the Celtics by?
I was saying based on all the numbers that I crunched here.
you're doing some data crunching over there.
Yeah,
Big data.
Some calculus here, some integrals and derivatives. I'd say 15.2.
Okay, should we rename data stat? Is it Stats Guy a better name or Big Data? Because Big Data seems like it's more current.
Yeah, I think big data is nice. It's
Big Data. What do you think, Jay? You vote, Jay. You choose. You call it Stats Guy the rest of the episode or Big Data?
Let's put it to the chat room. Big Data or Stats Guy?
So here's my take on this. So the Hornets game obviously went to overtime. Randall had a triple-double, looked goddamn amazing. Not look as amazing as the Celtics, but the Celtics game was in some ways a little embarrassing because the team the Celtics put out there. And Jabari Parker, well, I don't know what the hell happened to him. He's still a pretty solid NBA player. He's not like a good NBA player, but he's solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd make the argument I'd rather the Knicks have games that are this close to the end of the season than have a blowout. Because I want this team, the Hawks series is going to be like just a battle. I'd rather the Knicks be ready to battle. I want them to be I'd rather them have the experience of like having to claw their way to win a game to end the season because that's what they're going to do in the playoffs.
I feel like they claw every single game though.
They claw every goddamn game. They don't win. There's never a night where they're like, Rays won by 30 tonight. Another easy victory for the Knicks.
It's like every single game you're watching, and I literally noticed. I told my girlfriend, like, don't come to the fourth quarter because no matter what the score is, they're going to be down by 2 or up by 2. It doesn't matter what it is.
It really, even the games they lose are just games where like they're down by a lot, and suddenly you're looking about, you're like, wait a second, if the Knicks hit this shot with 0.7 seconds, they win the game. How the hell this happen?
Yeah, it was like Philly like twice, the Nets twice.
Yeah.
Minnesota, what was that, like some of the Suns games? Both of them were pretty close until Chris Paul decided to just look like he was 25, and then
and the Lakers game too.
Every game, the Lakers game where they couldn't get a rebound for some reason. But.
So I'm gonna wow you guys.
Okay.
The Knicks won 41 games, and Elfrid Payton started almost every game. How is that possible?
That is impressive.
The Knicks are like, we're going to win a bunch of games with Elfrid Payton playing. Take that. Lakers can't do that shit.
He seems not too happy lately. His minutes are down to like 15, and you see the whole bench cheering, and he's always off in the corner, just sitting there.
He kind of, maybe he's realizing he's not long for the playoffs or this team.
Yeah. You want to know some interesting stats about him?
Yeah, hit us, Big Data, stat guy.
So, the worst defensive rating on the Knicks, Elfrid Payton, at 110.8.
Who is the second worst?
Austin Rivers.
Mm-hmm. So the guy that got cut basically was still a better defender than the guy we kept.
And so much for Elfrid Payton being a great defender.
Yeah, I mean, that was his not calling card, but that's one of the things people would say, like, he's a good defender. He kind of sucks on all level. I guess we can move forward to the Hawks series.
For reference, do you have any idea what league average defensive rating is?
Let me go check that out.
It's okay if you don't. I just, 110. I'm guessing it's based on an average of 100-point game.
No, I mean most people are above 100. So the average, if you look in the middle, it's about 108, 109.
Okay.
So it's slightly below average.
Okay, that doesn't sound quite as bad actually when you point that out.
Yeah,
what is Jay's defensive rating playing at the local Y?
Let me look that up.
I'm glad you kept stats on my rec league games.
He's got a little bit better than Elfrid Payton. He's got about 109.8.
See?
Can Jay run the Knicks offense as well as Elfrid Payton does?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, if all you can do is just dribble into the paint and miss every layup, then yeah, probably.
Jay, can you miss layups? Because then you qualify.
I can. I could definitely miss layups.
So Payton is like he's the one guy you have to wonder, is he really going to start in the playoffs? Or is Tibbs going to be like, this is too important. You can show everyone the naked pictures of me and whatever else I did, we're not going to play you.
I don't think he changed his starting lineup for the playoffs.
You don't think so? Stat guy, should he change the starting lineup?
I think so, yeah. But I don't know who else would he put there. Like IQ or Rose, but I feel like he wants to keep Rose in that second lineup with playing against the scrubs. But I feel like in the playoffs, they're not going to play scrubs anymore.
Well, there might be one scrub who's not really a scrub. Half of Knicks Twitter thinks he's the greatest player to ever walk the earth. May be useful in this series. Do you give Elfrid's minutes to Frank?
No.
Well, the question is, would Frank make a big difference against Trae Young? He's our best defender for a non-center defender. Trae Young is obviously an issue for this series. Would it make sense to put Frank out there and see if Frank can really disrupt Trae Young?
I feel like he's going to get in foul trouble. If you watch Frank, all he does is foul everybody with his long arms, and they just call ticky-tack fouls on Trae Young anyway. So why not just put Elfrid Payton on him, get a couple of foul calls, and this way it's not, we're not getting our best defenders in foul trouble instead of Reggie. I mean,
it's a fair point. I just feel like, also the playoffs, they don't tend to call quite as many ticky-tack fouls if the referee hasn't bet on the game.
So
that doesn't happen very often.
So any game that Ed Malloy's not in?
Yeah. So if it's not one of the finals that Sacramento was in, generally speaking, there are less ticky-tack fouls, less bullshit calls, which the Hawks really rely on those bullshit calls, especially Trae Young. God love him. Or God hate him, whatever. Do you think and I know Frank, sometimes his defense equals fouling. Would you put Frank on him maybe to start the game? See if you can throw him off?
I wouldn't put him to start the game, but I definitely think we're going to see more Frank. If you notice, Tibbs has been using Frank like Mariano Rivera, puts him in bottom of the ninth, 30 seconds left, it's Frank time. So yeah. I think we'll see him in more situational things like that.
Didn't he come in with like a minute to go in the Charlotte game?
Yeah, in the game before it, I think he went in with like 34 seconds.
It's like steal though. Yeah.
No, he does some stuff. He has a role. It's just like, it's funny. His role is like, okay, we need to save. It's not baseball, coach. You're going out there with 12 seconds to go in the game. You better not screw this up.
It was pretty much my role in high school basketball. 37 seconds left. The coach would be like, Jay, it's your time. Like, thanks. We're down by 34 points.
Well, so I have to think the Knicks are also going to go with a shorter rotation and more minutes. Like Julius Randle, does he play plus or minus 48 minutes?
I think we're going to have some overtime games here, so I'd say plus.
So he's going to do the Wilt 48.5?
I don't think I'm going to take the under for 48 minutes with Julius. So Randle, and on a serious note, how many minutes do you think Randle's going to play?
Like 41. He probably average on, because Toppin's not going to be in there very long. So
no, Toppin has been Toppin's been looking better lately, but most of the season he's been more of a negative. And I don't think you're really doing like, hey Toppin, let's develop you during the playoffs. It's more like, hey Toppin, you have to come back. You're being switched out. I just got on the court. Yeah, it was too long. Sorry, Toppin.
Pretty much.
I think he's gonna have a very short leash with guys like Toppin when they come in. Like Toppin's got to look good right away, or get the hell off the court.
So
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think he's going to play about 42 minutes a game.
I also think that they're going to everyone's minutes going to go up. Everyone's minutes go up anyway in the playoffs on any team. And Tibbs is Tibbs. You got to think Rose is going to go to 30 plus minutes also. I think there's not going to be that many minutes to go around. Burks probably goes for Burks probably over 30 minutes. Quickly is going to be 25. It's going to be a tighter rotation. I don't know if I don't know if Peyton's 14 minutes are even there.
So
he might not play him at all.
Brooklyn Adrian wants us to go through the matchups position by position.
Okay, might as well get there. I have a question right before we do that. The Knicks, would you say the Knicks are playing with house money and you just whatever happens from here, whatever? We already won. Or the Knicks have to win the series. What do you guys think?
I win the series. I feel like 3-0 against the Hawks. We have to win, right? At least a couple games make this interesting. At least Game 7. I mean, I listened to Bill Simmons today. He's saying if Knicks end up in Game 7, then they're going to win. I mean, Madison Square Garden hopefully gets some more fans, and we're like almost unbeatable in our home floor last month or so.
Big data. If we sold your organs, could we afford a ticket to the Knicks playoff game?
I don't think my organs are worth $2,000.
Holy, it is goddamn expensive to go to those games. I am not going to go. If we can somehow get the Patreon up, guys, support the Patreon. If you guys could put an extra $2,000 in there right now, so we can go to the playoff game.
I mean,
it's interesting actually. Sorry, Jay. If you bought tickets to the Hawks games in Atlanta, it'd be cheaper to fly there, buy 4 tickets, get a hotel for a night, and then fly back than it is to buy 1 ticket to Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's so insane.
I used to live in Atlanta. I lived there for a short time. They don't give a shit about their team. You could buy a playoff. You could buy Game 7 World Series or NBA championship. Hawks never won the NBA championship. You could buy a Game 7 ticket on the day of and be like, I got a good deal. Wait, these are great seats for this much money. Like
it's just a courtside for $300.
Yeah, like they just don't give a shit about I don't know why they don't give. I don't know why they don't give a shit, but like I went there for like a playoff. I mean, baseball. No, Jay hates baseball, but I went there for a playoff game. I was like, are these people even care the teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, during the regular season, you look and it says the tickets starting at $6. I'm like, excuse me. So, you want to do matchups?
The matchups, sure. Julius Randle versus no one, because there's no one in the Hawks that can guard him. Knicks win that matchup.
I mean, it's going to be John Collins.
Yeah, so Knicks stat guy. Will John Collins survive the series? I mean, literally, will he survive the series?
He might be sitting on the bench a lot.
So stat guy, I listen to the same Bill Simmons podcast. He pointed out this. Do you know this? What are Randle's stats against the Hawks?
He's averaging about 37 points a game. I think it was 9 rebounds a game, and I think 7 assists.
Yeah, goddamn all-star numbers. He's crushing the Hawks.
Yeah. So
the Knicks beat them 3 times in the regular season. How much does that matter, Jay?
Not much. I think it matters from a confidence level, but the Hawks didn't have Hunter for at least 2 of those games.
2 of the games also without Nate McMillan, who took over. The Hawks, I think since April 1st, the Hawks and the Knicks have the most wins in the NBA.
Yeah, the Hawks they're almost at full strength now, so they're going to be good.
Yeah, so they and the last game when they did beat them in overtime, Trae Young was injured at some point and left the arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's going to be tougher than I think people are giving the Hawks credit for. That being said, Randall's going to crush Collins and maybe cost Collins a lot of money in the offseason when he's trying to get his new contract.
Stat guy, you going to sign Collins when Randall makes him cry midway through the third game of the season, third game of the playoffs?
We get him for $5 million a year. Why not? You're better than Toppin, right?
All right, so
better than Toppin. There's something.
Next matchup, you have Capella and Noel.
I also want to just add right now, the Hawks have a better, like just talent wise, it's no question they have a better team.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys is there a question, Jay? Do you think the Knicks have more talent or the Hawks have more talent?
I think the Hawks have more talent. Severinks wrote they're a better, more talented team than we are on paper, which I'd agree with.
No, there's no argument. I mean, good thing they don't play on paper. The Knicks had 18 wins on paper. The Knicks are just a better actual team. What matchup? Who did you say? What's the next matchup?
Capella and Noel.
I am going to sadly say Capella.
That is a tough matchup for Noel.
Yeah.
How do you?
Good.
how do we keep Capella? That's like one of the keys to being the Capella has been great for the Hawks. How do we stop Capella?
Honestly, I think Taj is going to get a lot of minutes in that series.
You think he'd be a better matchup than Noel?
I just feel like Capella might be able to bully Noel under the paint, and I don't think he'd be able to do that as well against Taj.
Yeah, I mean So I saw someone posted like the keys for the Hawks victory and the keys for the Knicks victory, and I thought it was interesting. They said the keys for the Knicks victory. One of them was gang box out Clint Capella, keep him off the glass. The dude's been averaging 20 rebounds a game against the Knicks. He's been a monster. You really have to you got to limit that guy.
Yeah.
The other 2 points I thought were interesting. Make Trey a pure scorer, limit his passing so he doesn't get other guys involved. So make Trey beat you as opposed to making him helping other guys beat you. And then make Trey defend the full length of the court. Don't let him take basically guard him the whole way.
Yeah.
Which I thought was I have to agree. If Trey thinks he's got to beat you, Trey sometimes is on. What are you going to do? But a lot of times he's not on. If he's missing shots and he keeps taking the shots, just prevent his passing. I think it'd be a big deal. You guys want to know the keys to beating the Knicks?
Sure.
Make Randall a scorer, limit his passing. Blitz Randall on every touch, turnover prone, and play stretches of small ball. John Collins at center to force Noel away from the rim.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean the Randall stuff is it's a solid point.
He's been a lot better than double teams though.
He has lately has been going back to some of his habits of spinning into traffic. I mean, he looked great against the Hornets, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes he tries to do it all himself a little bit too much, and sometimes he forces too many hard shots. He's been good at making hard shots, but he can't always be taking the hard shots either.
That small ball could backfire because then you're putting in, I guess, either Huerter or Gallo, and I'm not really scared of either of those guys.
Stat guy, who's the better 3-point shooting team?
Let me look that up. I believe that's going to be. I think the Knicks are better, right?
It's better percentage, I think.
Yeah. Let me go team stats here.
Yeah, I mean, the Hawks can put up a bunch. They're just kind of streaky.
How many stats guy? While you're looking it up, how many Hawks have shot 40% or better from three, and how many Knicks did this season?
Okay.
So while he's looking that up, so we're saying Capella's going to be a problem. So
Capella's going to be a problem. He beats the match. I love Noel. I like Taj. Capella's going to be a problem. Capella wins that matchup. Go to the next one.
So DeAndre Hunter and RJ Barrett.
So my understanding is Hunter's not fully healthy. Am I wrong about this?
He just came back recently, so
he's not he basically is not what he was earlier in the season. I am going to take the problem with RJ. When RJ's on, he's better, but sometimes RJ's is off. He's inconsistent still, even though he's had a good season. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, RJ I think is better. Yeah, Hunter came back 3 games ago. Last game was the first one he actually played a decent amount of minutes. The Hawks are 3-0 since he came back.
They had some easy matchups also. I'd go with RJ, especially since Hunter just kind of came back from injury. I'll go with RJ.
Yeah, even if they don't start Hunter, I'd put RJ over Huerter or Gallo as well. Okay, so
let's see. So the Hawks shoot 37.3%. That's 12th in the league. Knicks are shooting 39.2%, which is tied for second with the Nets in the league.
Awesome. And how many 40%ers?
Let's see. So switch this. So they have definitely less than us. Let me just get the exact number here.
It's still unfathomable to think about how well the Knicks are shooting the 3-point shot. Do you think, Jay, are the Knicks going to shoot as well in the playoffs, or will they somehow playoffs kind of hurt their 3-point shooting?
I think they're going to shoot as well because the Hawks aren't a terribly great defensive team.
That guy, do the Hawks suck on defense?
Yes.
Okay, no need to look that up.
But they have 5 players that shoot above, or 30, Collins is at 39.9. So about 5 players who shoot above 40%. And we've got 6.
Jay, who are the 6 guys? Name them.
Barrett,
Yes.
Randall,
Yes.
Yep.
Quickly.
Yes.
No.
No.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Bullock,
Yes.
Yep.
Burks,
Yes.
Yep.
and Rose.
Yes.
That's 5.
Okay.
Who's
Do you want to count the 6, Jay?
number
who-
one?
Is it Frank?
It is Frank.
Holy shit!
I mean,
48%.
does it count?
48% on 18 threes a game. Frank is the greatest player in the history of time.
It's
He's
about
still
it's about 18 threes for the season, right?
I think it was a little bit more than that.
Okay, let's finish the matchups.
Okay, so you got Bogdanovich versus Bullock.
I think Bullock is the better defender, and he has the better hairstyle. So I'm gonna go with Bullock.
This is sarcasm.
Bogdanovich apparently has been goddamn on fire since he came
It
back.
is.
He's been
He's
playing
really good.
great. He's probably the guy you would take, actually. But yeah. So I'm assuming we're going like. I don't know if we have to discuss. Alfred Payton clearly better than Trey Young.
Severing said Peyton is Ish Smith level awful. He's the single worst starting player on a playoff team.
I've always wanted the Knicks to have Ish Smith. Go on though.
He also said
Doesn't Ish Smith always burn when the Knicks play? Like he says, can't play against anyone else. But the Knicks will play Ish Smith when he's on Philadelphia or whatever other team he's on, and he always like lights the Knicks up. And I'm like, why don't the Knicks get that guy?
yeah, he's definitely a Nick effect all-star. Severance
20
also
assists a
said Frank shoots 49% from 3, but he shoots 19% from 2.
Yeah, so that's why he only takes
About-
threes. Not is that real?
That's close.
Holy crap!
His field goal percentage is 37%, but his 3-point is 49%. So if you average it out, it's close to 19%.
It's weird. A lot of guys shoot lower field goal percentages because their 3-point shooting, even though they're good, it brings them down. Frank is the guy that it brings them up. Okay, so the real issue really is if you're starting Alfred, obviously Trey wins the match. Trey wins the matchup against Derrick Rose. Also, I would say we're in agreement with that, Jay.
Yeah, Trey. So the point guard and center the Hawks have, and shooting guard is debatable.
Okay, but the bench. So the problem really is Hawks have a lot more firepower from the bench than the Knicks do.
Do they?
I mean, I think so.
I mean, you got
Do they stats guy?
I think it's pretty even in terms of. I mean, if you look at the percentages, they can't shoot. Their bench can't shoot for crap.
Well, Cam Reddish can't shoot.
No.
Gallo can shoot. Lou Williams, even though whatever his stats say, he's going to play well against the Knicks and be frustratingly good against the Knicks.
Yeah.
ESPN doesn't even have Cam Reddish on their depth chart.
Cam Reddish kind of sucks. Coming out of college, they said if he can ever learn how to shoot, he'll be really good, and we're still waiting.
Yeah.
Herder's pretty good. Like they have a bunch of good players. So what are the keys? How do the Knicks pull this off?
You say pull it off like it's going to be some like ridiculous feat if they win.
No, but getting to the second round is the huge. Forget what you want to say about the Hawks. The Hawks are a very, very good team. The Knicks were hot. The Hawks were equally hot. You know what's interesting? The Hawks spent a ton of money in the offseason and really bulked up on free agents. And the Knicks actually had a better record, or Knicks were a better team, or had the higher seed.
So I would say attack Trey Young the entire time, get him in foul trouble because there's not much behind him.
If you could get Trey Young in foul trouble, that would be huge. But I think they're not going to call a lot of fouls on Trey Young. Like, I think the refs are be like, hey, they told us not to call fouls on him, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, he's a really bad defender, so if you're attacking him and they're not calling fouls, you're most likely scoring. So it's a win-win strategy.
Can the Knicks win a shootout basically with the Hawks? Like, if the Knicks need to score 130 points to beat the Hawks, are they going to win that game?
No.
I mean, the Hawks are really streaky, so like if Young, Huerter, and like Gallo are on, or Lou Williams, the Hawks are going to win, but they're streaky, so it could go either way.
No, this is but the Knicks are streaky to a certain extent also. When the 3-point shooting is on against the Celtics, maybe it was against the Hornets where they hit like 12 3-pointers in the first half and then couldn't buy a 3-pointer in the second half. But that's what 3-point shooting is. All shooting is like it's a bit streaky. Does it worry you when the offense breaks down and they just go ISO heavy Randall?
Yeah, Randall's at his best when he's driving and kicking, or when it's ISO. ISO, I don't think is ever really a good idea unless you're top 5 player in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, but it's always near the end of games, especially playoff games, when you need a point. You keep keep feeding your guy, and that's what makes the Nets especially dangerous because they have 3 guys who can easily be the guy you feed at the end of the game.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Nets.
You don't want both. I think about 2 weeks they'll be out of the playoffs. They're going to be eliminated in the first round, right?
I mean, that would be so funny. I don't think they will be, but
yeah.
Just like I said, 2 games before the season ends, they all suddenly come back healthy.
Of course. There was some scenario basically if the Knicks lost yesterday and I think if the Nets lost or they won, the Knicks, there was a possibility of the Knicks playing the Nets in the first round, which I'm kind of very happy didn't happen. I love the Hawks being the matchup.
I think the Nets would have had to lose a couple games for that to happen.
It might have been 1 game because the Bucks had the tiebreaker with the Nets, so they're up at 1 game. So if they had lost and the Bucks won, Bucks would have had the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. 3 keys to winning the series. Jay, you said attack Trey on offense, basically. Mm-hmm. Attack his defense.
Yep.
Stat guy, what are the keys to being the Hawks? And if you could put your answer in stone.
Let's see, let me carve it right now.
Down from Mount Sinai, please.
Yeah. I definitely think that the rebounding is really important. I think if we can rebound the ball, because they're going to miss a lot of shots. They take up a lot of shots. And if you let Trae Young shoot, he's not a good shooter. He's only shooting 30%, 34% this year. Let him shoot it, but we need to get those rebounds over Capella. And we need to do team rebounding. So boxing out, getting people away from the ball. And I think we can actually have a chance to slow the game down. We can win it.
Yeah, less second opportunities for the Hawks on offense. Hell yeah. I'm going to go into a key, Derrick Rose being on. When Derrick Rose is on, the Knicks are really, really hard to beat. If Derrick Rose is hitting his shots, Knicks are winning tonight.
I'm going to go with constant ball movement because a couple times in the last week, the offense looked really stagnant, and that's when they were blowing leads and going into really long scoreless streaks, which they can't afford to do this series.
Stat guy.
My name is Big Data.
Big Data. That's definitely not Big Daddy. Big Data. Big Data.
I agree. I think they just got to keep on attacking them. They can't guard anybody, so we just got to keep attacking them and not stay on the outside and dribble until the shot clock goes to the bottom.
Capella, I think getting Capella into foul trouble. If more so than Trae Young, you can get Capella into foul trouble. That would be huge. I would attack him early in the game, try to get him to draw a couple stupid fouls, and that would make a huge difference. Who would be a bigger issue for the Hawks being in foul trouble? Trae Young or Capella?
Capella, I think I agree with you. I think if Capella's in foul trouble, the paint's open. Anyone can just drive and Rose can get 30 points a game just driving to the basket.
If the Hawks are so bad in defense, if they do not have Capella, Elfrid Payton could go crazy attacking the basket.
Yeah, he can even be good.
Yeah. Okay, Elfrid Payton. Just remember Elfrid Payton. The first game is in Atlanta. You should be in Atlanta on opening night, Elfrid, if you're listening. Okay. Jay, what's another key? Did we do 3 yet? I can't count. Stat guy, have we done 3 yet? I cannot count.
We've done like 5.
God damn it, stat guy.
Yeah. So I think we got through our list.
So do you expect? Here's a question. Tibbs, I think Tibbs is an awesome coach. Do you think Stibbs has some stuff up his sleeve? We'll see some new creative things from him that we have not seen during the regular season. Does he have some approaches with the Hawks that we have? Is he going to break out the new stuff for the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think he's going to go with what worked. What's been working all season. I don't think it's time to start changing lineups, changing strategies.
You really don't think it's time to say, like, do you think he shouldn't take Alfred out, or you just think he will not take Alfred out?
I don't think he will.
I would. Stat guy, are you on board with taking Alfred out?
I think so. I think Rose should start. He's a better player, and Burke should be our backup point guard.
Yeah, it seems like it makes sense to me. I kind of like the idea of putting Frank to start the game and seeing how it goes with Trey, but this seems very unlikely that he'll actually do that. IQ. Do you think he has a big role in the series, or are his minutes limited?
Limited, I believe. I think that he's going to have a short string. That Tibbs doesn't really trust him yet, and I think he's going to be kind of, he makes a couple dumb decisions or a couple bad shots like he did the other day, and he's going to take him out and put Rose back in, or put Burks back in, or Bullock back in. He seems to be replacing him with one of those guys.
Jay?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Rose plays the most minutes at the one, and as long as Bullock and Burks are playing well, IQ is, pretty much third string, because apparently we're still playing Peyton.
I kind of think Peyton's minutes. I would make a bet with you guys. Peyton does not play all the games of the series. I'll bet you, Jay. I'll bet your burger bet, Jay. That Peyton does not play every game of the series.
Because of DNPs or because of an injury?
Can I take both so I can win the burger?
Don't you own like 4 burgers already?
Yeah,
Stat guy, shut the hell up.
Stat guy, how many burgers does Marc owe me?
I think he won one back, so I think it's 3.
Okay, Jay. I'm going with a burger here. It doesn't matter if it's DNP or if it's injury or COVID, whatever it is. He misses at least one game of the series.
Okay, I don't think he does. I think he plays like 12 minutes a game, but I think he plays. Severing says Peyton's assists have been more than cut in half from his career average. He's trying to be a scoring guard, but he can't score because he's not a shooter from 3, and he doesn't get to the line either.
What is good Peyton? What will we see from Peyton where we'll be happy to have him out there? What's good Peyton look like?
I think he has to go with the flow of the offense and, like Severing said, not try and be a scorer, because he's better when he's trying to distribute and, take a shot only if he's wide open, because I don't want to see him taking any contested shots either.
I'm going to strongly disagree with you and say the only thing Peyton does that's helpful on the court, really, is when he can drive to the basket and finish at the rim. And if he can do that, that would make a difference. If he's not doing that, he's almost worthless out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I find there was some stat earlier in the season where, like, if Peyton scored more than 10 points, the Knicks had a crazy record. If he can finish at the rim, it makes a huge difference. It's just somehow a lot of times he can't. But like, that's the one thing I think he can do well at times. That guy, settle this argument. Who's right? And do I win Jay's new apartment?
I think I agree with you, Marc. I think that when he drives to the basket and either finishes or doesn't get blocked at the rim by a 2-foot guy, then he's good. But otherwise, when he's shooting 3-pointers or shooting contested 2-pointers, he just looks awful in there. It's bad.
That guy. Without looking, how old was Gallinari?
31.
32. Don't you feel like he should be 40? Like he was in the Carmelo trade. He was drafted a long time ago. I cannot believe he's in this series against us.
It is weird. There was a couple of years in a row where we swore he was in his 30s before he was. It was
Denver.
The thing is,
and he's been injured for a long time also.
Well, that's the thing with his injury history. He seems older because he just seems like hobbled all the time.
So 2 questions from Facebook. Bobby writes, not even a question, a topic, but he writes, ain't it sweet? This sweet. Thank you, Bobby.
It's very sweet.
And Jan writes, do the Hawks worry you? The last game we played against them, they were scorching us until Trey went down with that ankle injury, and we made a comeback.
I try not to get too worried over single games. I mean, if they stomped us every game, I'd be a little more worried. But
I don't know if they were scoring. If I remember, I think the game was pretty close at that point, but I could be wrong.
I just feel like I've seen regular season series that have been sweeps, and the team that got swept wins in the playoffs. I don't take too much away from regular season series.
Okay, let's reverse this. If we were a Hawks podcast, what would be the keys to winning the series against the Knicks? And would we have wasted our lives being on a Hawks podcast?
I mean, how many listeners would we have if we were a Hawks podcast?
I mean, should we cut to should we pretend we're a Hawks? Let's just cut to a bit where we're a Hawks pack, Hawks podcast.
All right.
Hey, we're here at Hawks Pod, home of our team. You know, yeah, with double. Yeah, I don't know. We have a guy on here that puts up stats. We cannot figure out a name to call him because for the Hawks podcast, we don't have ideas. Anyway, these Knicks. How do we stop them? My co-host, not Gay. Your name was Gay, right? It rhymes with Jay. Can I call you Gay?
Yeah, no, don't do that.
No.
So,
How about Bay?
Yeah.
Say
Ray.
Yeah. Yes, Ray. Okay, Ray.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Ray?
I'm doing okay. First, I'd like to read all our Hawks podcast emails, and we got none again for the 100th straight episode. We'll go to Facebook. Do you have any Facebook questions?
Yes. It says here. I know the Hawks made the playoffs. Can I switch over to the Knicks now? Is it? Bill writes, is it okay to go to a Hawks team and root for the opposing team in the playoffs? Sal writes, are you sure the Hawks are an Atlanta team? Okay, all our Facebook comments, all good comments. How do we stop the dread? The Knicks defense looks really good. Should we actually? I want to rename our podcast.
If a shot goes in the hoop and nobody's there to see it, did the shot really happen?
Yes. Actually, so I was thinking about keys to winning the game for us. I want to do one key to winning the game, and then we can go to the keys to beating the Knicks or stopping the Knicks. Key to winning the game for us, is there any way we could trade Trey back for Doncic?
I was Marc Cuban.
I mean, can you imagine if we did a Hawks podcast and they gave up?
Ray, don't imagine. We're doing one, Ray. Don't break bit, Ray.
I mean,
You remember that time?
yeah.
We traded the 3 pick for the 5 pick.
And threw in assets on top of it.
Yeah, but don't Ray. We got Trey. Can I call you Trey? It rhymes with Jay also.
Sure.
Okay, Trey. Why can't you guard anyone?
Short, and I'm weak, and I have stupid hair.
Okay, keys to being the Knicks. Should we just? Would it be easier would it be easier for the Hawks if there was a mercy rule, so we didn't have to play the full games against the Knicks? We could just give up early. Would that be better for us?
It might be. In all seriousness, I forcing Randall into turnovers. That's a weakness, right? They got to have some weakness.
Yes, that is. Also, we tell we let Elfrid Payton hit 1 or 2 shots, and maybe this coach will leave him out there.
Yeah, maybe just ignore Elfrid Payton altogether.
Leave him open.
Don't even let him try and just shoot empty layups. Who cares?
Also, should we try a defense just more than Capella playing defense?
No, I think he's got that covered.
Okay, cool.
You need 4 guys scoring, so you don't want to get them tired on the defensive end.
Yeah. I'm kind of bored of talking about the Hawks. Can we just play some music?
Yeah, we'll just put on a CD the rest of the episode.
That's how I imagine I let the Hawks podcast go.
Travis Scott.
I'm gonna guess the Hawks have some of the worst. It's like I think the Knicks. it's as good as it gets. Is watching a Knicks playoff game in MSG is probably as good as it gets. Probably as bad as it gets is watching the Hawks play at any point.
Nomad writes, what's a bigger chance of happening? Tibbs winning Coach of the Year or Derrick Rose coming in the top 3 for sixth man?
Okay, so Coach of the Year. Will Tibbs win Coach of the Year, stat guy?
No, I think they're going to give it to Monty Williams.
It's a shoot. Phoenix, what was Phoenix records? Second best record in the NBA or first?
Second best.
Second best. Yeah, it's a shoe-in. He's got it. Where will Tibbs rank, though, in the voting?
He'll be number 2.
Yep. Sixth man of the year. Who got sixth man? Who wins that?
Jordan Clarkson.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't think Rose even gets a vote.
You don't think Rose gets a vote?
No,
I think Rose might be 3rd or 4th.
Jay, go back on the goddamn Hawks podcast, Jay.
we're done with the. I didn't realize we were done with that bit.
I don't know. We don't really transition well. I think Rose is going to get some votes for sixth man of the year. I think he hasn't been Knicks the full season, which hurts him, but I think he is top 5 in voting, which doesn't seem like a big stretch.
Severing says they win the series if we don't limit Young as his floater and his pull-up threes. That should be Frank's job.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said we should play Frank on him. Let's see how it goes. You don't think it'd be... Yeah, I mean, just start the series. Put Frank out there right to start the game. See how it goes. If you could disrupt him in the first quarter, I feel like that might throw off his game a little bit.
I still think they're starting Alfred, but he's on a short leash, and we'll see Frank.
Do you have 82 games of proof, 72 games of proof there, Jay? Looking at historically?
Historically speaking, it looks like Peyton's going to start, yeah.
You may be right.
They're going to do pick and roll. I think what they're going to end up doing, they're going to put Capella out in the 3-point line. They're going to pick and roll. They're going to pick Peyton off every single time, and they're just going to put Noel or Randall every single time on Trey. And he's just going to do stupid flopping threes where he jumps into somebody and shoots a 3 and get three free throws. I think he's going to do it at least once a game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit around the NBA? What's going on?
Sure. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah. Stat guy, how many minutes do we have?
We have 9 minutes and 37 seconds.
God damn it. I was hoping for a higher number. Okay, we got the play-in tournaments coming up. I think we should talk about those. Those are fun to talk about. Lakers Golden State. Is this the funniest play-in series, play-in game ever?
I mean, it's amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better play-in game.
Who wins that?
I think Golden State wins.
I think Lakers are going to squeak one out.
Yeah, I think I can't believe LeBron James suddenly got healthy. That's crazy. It's like he was purposely sitting out games.
It's almost like all these big stars were all suddenly healthy the last week of the season. It's crazy.
Memphis, San Antonio. Who wins that?
Memphis.
Yeah.
San Antonio's, they look like crap right now.
Hey, is it weird that RJ's in the playoffs, Ja is at least in the playing game, and Zion is sitting on the couch?
They have a stupid coach.
They have a real stupid coach. How do you
guys are moron.
How do you not get Zion to the goddamn playoffs? And they have so much talent on that roster. Or not so much. They have too much talent on that roster not to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not to be in the goddamn playing game. San Antonio was 6 games under 500. They get to go in the playing game. What the hell was Zion doing?
He played like 60 games this year, too.
Yeah. Okay. Who wins the Indiana-Charlotte series?
I think Indiana-Charlotte seems like they're in a tailspin.
Neither. I have to think Charlotte's going to win that, but neither team looks that great lately.
I think Pacers will win that one.
Oh, you think so?
Hayward is injured again, right?
Yeah.
Stat guy, should the Knicks have signed Hayward in the offseason?
Nope. That would be a bad investment.
Celtics, Wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah, I think Wizards too.
Yeah, Brown is out, right?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's out for the season.
Yeah, the Wizards are pretty hot right now. Do you think the Wizards? So the Wizards, if they win, they play the Brooklyn in the first round. Do they give Brooklyn any trouble?
Nope.
They are on fire lately. Just to point it out.
I mean, Westbrook kind of wants to murder Durant, so it'll be fun to watch anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll be a lot of fun.
I think Westbrook will think that they're favored, the Wizards.
Well, yeah, Westbrook always thinks his team is favored.
How that would just be great because like that awkward beginning, like right before the game's gonna start, like oh hey Russell, you guys are playing again together. I thought we were all no, just you. We just don't want to play with you, Russell.
Yeah.
I
They like Russell.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just funny that like they play with everyone but him now.
Yeah.
Okay, Lakers, Phoenix. If the Lakers play the Phoenix, do the Lakers beat Phoenix?
Yes.
Jay?
I really want to say no, but I'm going to say no.
No. I don't want to see the Lakers win, but I do in some back of my head. If the Lakers do beat Phoenix, I kind of in my mind, I'm like, oh, Chris Paul, you don't win again. Ha, 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 Chris Paul. Oh, Chris Paul, how do you like never going to the finals?
Yeah, I think the Suns they had a good record because I just think they played well together and they had a lot of continuity. But in the playoffs, they had no experience, and Chris Paul is a loser. So,
other interesting matchups: Milwaukee, Miami. What do you guys think about that? Can Miami pull off an upset against Milwaukee again?
I think if there's going to be an upset in the first round, it's more likely to be Miami over Milwaukee than Lakers over Phoenix.
Really? Because I would have gone the other way. But stat guy, what's more likely? Lakers beat Phoenix or Miami beats Milwaukee?
it's about 12% chance higher that the Lakers beat Phoenix.
Yeah, Jay, take that data. Fizdale, worst coach ever? Is that guy?
He's definitely in the bottom. He's bottom 5%.
What was the last Knicks coach that was worse than Fizdale?
It was the guy before. Hornacek.
Could Fizdale
Fisher. Derek Fisher.
Could Fizdale with
Fisher.
Could Fizdale with this exact same roster get us to the 1 seed in the Tankathon?
No, he couldn't even do that properly. He still won a couple of games at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I was listening to another podcast where they were making a point. They're like, they were saying that there were still some Knicks fans saying the Knicks screwed up this season by winning all these games, and they should have been tanking because of this great draft. Do you think there's a mythical Knicks fan out there that actually thinks the Knicks should have been tanking at this point?
Tommy.
Yeah, there are a bunch of morons out there. So.
How dumb do you have to, like, as a Knicks fan, be like, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I guess we, like, exceeded all expectations, had an amazing year, got the 4th seed. But if we had won 12 games, we would have gotten the first. Like, at some point, you have to, like, hey, it's kind of cool to win games.
You could maybe argue that if they were in, like, the play-in tournament, but, like, a 4 seed, that's just dumb.
I think that's a good, like, that's the good, like, if the Knicks were like the Spurs, where 33 and 39, they just squeaked in the 10th seed, and you're like, yeah, what's the value here? Stat guy, is there value for what the Knicks just have done this season?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot more value now to be a 4th seed than there is to be, a garbage team not losing with no culture.
Yeah. Do the Knicks have culture, stat guy?
A lot of culture.
Goddamn a lot. Their cup overfloweth with culture.
Oh yeah.
MVP, does Randall get a top 5 vote? Is he a top 5 finisher in MVP? He's not going to win MVP. I don't think he's going to. Is he a top 5 finisher?
Be 5 or maybe 5. A couple votes, 4 votes, 5 votes.
Jay? It's not. What do you want? You're not a Knicks fan. You want to trade Randall now? Let's trade high on him. What the hell's wrong with you, Jay? You say yes. The answer is yes. If you're a Hawks podcast, you say, I don't know. I thought we were playing music.
Nomad says, can you take a second to laugh at how bad the Celtics season went with high expectations and 2 All-Stars who got better?
Oh my God, they went the exact opposite of the Knicks.
Celtics. It's because they live in Boston.
They really, a couple of years ago, they made that run with when Kyrie was injured. They made that run. You were like, they are going to now that LeBron left Cleveland, the Celtics are going to the finals, and they have it's crazy. They also had all those draft picks and they were so set up to succeed. They have 2 All-Stars, and they kind of suck donkey balls.
I think their issue is just that their ownership has just not been drafting well. They draft a bunch of scrubs every year, and it's the coach has not been playing them properly, and they're just being iso ball the whole time.
I have a neighbor who's a Celtics fan who said to me, "Yeah, I think they need to fire Brad Stevens, or that's what people are talking about." And I was like, holy crap. How did this guy go from like the young genius coach to the Celtics fan being like, we might have to get rid of him?
He's got no bench. They got 3 good players, and the rest of the team is scrubs. And Marcus Smart is a moron too.
Yeah, they are
the guy loses games for them every night.
Who is a more disappointing team, the Celtics or the Pelicans?
Celtics
because of the expectations.
Fair enough. Do we have any minutes left?
No, we're pretty much out of time. Severing
Stat guy, what's the last question, Stat guy? We need one more question.
Severing said the shame of it is that Dallas righted the ship and started winning and screwed our pick. That would have been a perfect storm if the Knicks got the 4th seed and Dallas ended up being bad, so we got a good pick anyway.
Yeah,
that's Porzingis. We got rid of Porzingis. He's getting injured every year, so we made a good trade.
I mean, getting rid of if we had just traded Porzingis for a 2023 second-round pick, it would have been worth it not to have signed him to that big contract. That contract
is a terrible contract.
When Dallas loses in the first round this year, are they going to be like, we might need to fix? We might have to take like some serious measures here.
Yeah, but nobody wants Porzingis, so not gonna get anything for him.
No, they're gonna have to trade Hardaway or something. He's got more value than Porzingis right now.
Okay, what did we learn this episode?
I think we learned that new stats guide's been a success.
His best stats guy since stats guy number 2. There were some other stats guy. He just trounced number 3 and number 4. Stat guy, big data, goddamn dominating. Like the Knicks will goddamn dominate the Hawks. How are we going to celebrate this week?
Well, they don't play till Saturday, so we gotta cherish it while we have good positive vibes right now, you know.
Yeah. Positive vibes. Okay. Play us out with positive vibes. What's what's that song I got? High hopes, Jay. Play us out. Can you make that our goodbye song now?
I don't instantly have every song at
I got high hopes for a living.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back on probably Sunday to talk about the first playoff game. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/NYKnicks podcast, and you can follow us on.
Oh yeah!
All right, we just got a follower. That's what happens when we.
I was like, what the hell is that?
I thought Marc was just having a time over there.
I am having a time. Jay, talk. When you talk, Jay, I moan.
Twitch.tv/crumpledbacon. You can follow us during the show and you hear that. And so we'll be back soon. Thanks for joining us, Stats Guy. And thanks for listening, everybody.
I'm not
actually,
going to explain.
Before we go, let's Stat Guy, you have a project going on, right? Let's hear about it.
Yeah, so I run an account with another guy named Marc. Also, not this Marc, but we do something with an account called Board Brackets. So bored as in like I'm bored, I keep falling asleep. So Board Brackets on Instagram. So give us a follow. We make random brackets. You can make your predictions. We're trying to get sponsors and see if we can get some prizes for. So the more people that fill out the brackets, the better. And we have a good following. Our fans love Boston though, so we need more Knicks followers to kind of get the Boston people out of there.
Yeah, Knicks followers make the Boston fans like cry.
Awesome.
Yeah, we need. Right now, we're doing this week we're going to do a NBA playoffs bracket. So it'd be nice to see the Knicks beat the Boston Celtics if they make it.
Hey, what's a non-NBA bracket you've done?
We've done best reality show. I mean, we're going to be doing best Shark Tank host. We're going to be doing, I got a bunch of brackets planned, some cool ones. We're going to do best car logos, best pasta dishes. So we got all random stuff. So it doesn't matter.
Awesome.
Sports fan, not sports fan. It's a lot of fun.
Did Cuban win best Shark Tank host?
We're going to do that. It's going to be coming up in a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
So what was the Instagram again?
So board brackets, BORED, BRAACKEST.
All right.
KETS.
So
Can't spell.
All right. So yeah, everyone give that a follow, and thanks again for joining.
Thanks for having me. Love it.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.